Attention messy TikTokers. Please follow on Rumble for more messy TikTok news. YouTube will remove this page for community guideline violations after one more strike. The link is in the description.
I've been cool with AP long enough to eat. I told her that myself
Longer than
over
me.
the
You
phone.
was cool with AP before me.
Yeah, I told her that myself over the phone.
You were cool with AP longer than
So
me.
let me
Exactly.
see what, because Trip hasn't spoke yet. So let me see what Trip has to say, and then Royal, you'll be able to speak because I just want the other parties who name was
going on
called
mute.
and involved
It's
to be
gonna
able
get ugly.
to say their piece.
Hold on,
Everybody's
Rozay, let me say this real quick. Just because you and a person have a disagreement does not make you an op. And this is why people feel like you can't have friends on this app. Because people like that will go and stir a pot and make it seem as something that it wasn't. The only reason why that conversation started, AP was already in the box. AP dropped out the box and started her own live. So nobody was talking behind her back.
Thank you.
That live, hold on,
Thank
Kappa, hold on, Kappa, hold on,
And
Kappa,
I
mute.
said she not ready
Mute,
to stand
Kappa.
in it.
Mute, Kappa.
You were talking.
So that conversation was already going on. Okay, cool. It was not talking behind nobody back, because if if we're having this live right now and you decide, fuck this, I don't want to hear this, and you leave, the conversation proceeds. That's how a conversation goes. Just because you walk away from a conversation does not mean that conversation is going to end if you yourself decides to exit the conversation. That is a difference, okay? If I drop you out the box and then start talking about you, yeah, that's not giving you a chance to defend yourself. That's not giving you a chance to have your word. But if you decide yourself you're going to leave a conversation, that does not then say, hey, stop talking. That's not how that shit goes. So I was not going to stop talking. I was going to continue my statement and what I said. And what I was saying there, I was saying while she was there. She just decided not to stay. So again, this is how shit gets started. I have not said shit about her since. We have, ever since our last live we had, I don't talk about her on my live. I don't do none of that shit. So if I fucked with you in the past and I've had a relationship with you, just because we have a disagreement does not make me an op, or it does not make me against you. I still have love for her. She has growth to do, yes, but I have nothing against her. I have nothing ill to say about her. And y'all have not seen me on any live stream since this all happened talking ill about this girl. So stop calling me a fucking op. I'm not her op.
Thank you, T. Trip.
Yeah, so I guess I'm here for a few different reasons. They told me I was summoned on TikTok and on Bigo in regards to my court comments. And then Royal, when I came in, I saw Kappa in here talking to Royal. I'm not a fan of Royal. Royal was the one that went over there to AP's live, her and the other girl trying to get the shit started. So I'm just here. I heard when I came in, I was hearing her saying my name. So I came up on the panel so I wouldn't have to waste time typing in the comments, depending on what she gonna say.
Royal.
As I stated, I'll reiterate. That's not a discussion that you should have amongst the general public if it's somebody who you fuck with. It's no way in hell I'm going to be amongst the general goddamn public speaking ill. When you say that somebody don't stand on business, when you say that somebody is playing a victim card, that is speaking ill of them. And that is the shit that you, Kappa, said about AP, and we all heard it on the video. It's there on the video. You said it amongst the general public. When you give a fuck about somebody, you don't speak ill of them. Do you know how many motherfuckers on this app don't like AP? You giving them ammo so that when they go on another live, oh yeah, AP, yeah, even your friends, cause T wasn't that the issue that you had with AP? You were mad that she was like, well, even she was saying to Hulk, even T Time says that you need to do this, and you had an issue with that.
Okay, let me explain to you what I was upset about.
Wait a goddamn minute. That is what you create.
Did she not ask me a question?
Because yelling ain't gonna solve nothing. We could talk
She
one
asked
at
me
a
a question,
time.
right, Rozay? So let me answer the question, because she's not going to use that as a back-end conversation was talked about on the back end.
I didn't ask you a damn thing. Rozay, I was still talking. I was still talking.
Hold on, y'all.
She asked me a question, right?
So there was a question. However, I don't know if you meant that as a hypothetical,
so I'm
but
going to answer it.
It was technically a question. So if you meant that as a hypothetical, or if you had that question, you wanted to say something else, then we can let you finish your statement and then she can answer. However, it was a question. So if you feel like you had more to say.
Yeah, it was a hypothetical. I'm sorry, Rozay. My apologies, Rozay. It was a hypothetical.
Okay.
So my point is that if you all fuck with her so much like you say you do, that is not a discussion that should have been had amongst the general public. That's the point that I'm making. And I don't give a fuck when nobody say, y'all don't have to like me. Y'all don't have to ever like me. I'm still gonna live. I'm still gonna breathe. I don't give a fuck what you all think about me. Cause I'ma still live and breathe and do me. But I said what the fuck I said, and I will stand on anything I said anywhere. Cause I will take all of you bitches on. You don't know where the fuck I'm from and the type of life.
So that I'm gonna go ahead and stop you right there because that is
with that kind of behavior.
This is a little much.
T, you could finish. That's unnecessary, Roy. I'm gonna let you take a deep breath, gather your thoughts, because that's a lot. Go ahead, T.
We're gonna tussle on the page. Okay, so a back end conversation, what me and somebody have on the back end as a conversation.
Y'all put your favorite candy in the pack.
Should not be brought to the front end, used in the fight. And that's what I was upset with AP about, because something on the back end, first of all, I'm cool with both of them. And what was said on the back end was remixed and brought to the front end to hurt the other person. Like even T said, I had already told both of them they were wrong, but she was making it seem as if I fucked with her harder, using it as as leverage. It wasn't you know what I'm saying? So no, that was wrong. Okay. However, if shit happens on the front end, it's talked about on the front end. Let me say this. This is why a lot of these content creators don't take accountability well. Because everybody wants to say, don't say that to them. Don't tell them that. Don't tell them they're wrong on the front end. A friend will tell you you're wrong in public, private, on the side. It's just the way you tell a person. Ain't nothing wrong with holding me accountable. If you tell me, T, you wrong, you got to handle this shit. If I'm acting big bad wolf on the front end, tell me as my friend on the front end, T, you doing a little bit much, right? Ain't no coddling in friendships. This shit got to stop. This is why a lot of these content creators don't have no accountability. They don't see the wrong in their ways or the error in their ways, because people like her run around here like they said this and they should have never said that. They should hold you up to this high regard in the public, even when you're wrong. That's not a friend. Yes, the fuck it is. And the only reason why it came to the front is it's because of AP. None of this wouldn't have been said on the front end had she not brought it here.
But let's not. I don't want to bring AP in.
I ain't saying nothing bad about her, Kappa.
So is this a misunderstanding or I'm tripping?
So this is a perfect example of somebody being messy, carrying bones that's unnecessary. That's what this is. This ain't a misunderstanding. This is a result of bone carriers. This is what happened when people go carry bones.
Okay. Royal
truth. At this point, Rozay, it's not going to, I was in another live the other day. I told them it's not going to be a kumbaya. I carry truth. That's what the fuck I carry. The motherfucking truth. It's not going to be a kumbaya. I don't have nothing else to say to these bitches on this panel. I'm out.
Stop being disrespectful. You ain't got to call them out their name, though.
Now we bitches.
See, not one of us disrespecting her, though.
He ain't nobody.
Okay, wait a minute, Rozay. I will apologize to you for that. But Trip called me out of my name. I got dropped from a panel. I couldn't get back with her. And so yes, Trip, you are a bitch.
So that's what this about.
Bitch, a fucking sewer rat ass bitch. That's what the fuck you is. You ain't going Kappa. You ain't going to drag a motherfucking thing. You ain't going to drag shit. You ain't going to drag shit.
Be quiet with your 62 fucking points.
Wait.
It's okay.
Wait.
It's okay.
That's some unnecessary shit. I'm not gonna hold you. Royal, you ain't had to do all that. That was very unnecessary.
Y'all, we ain't gotta react to it. We ain't gotta react to that.
That's unnecessary. All I'm saying is that's unnecessary. You ain't have to do all that. Because you can't in one breath say that you gonna supposedly respect my broadcast after I said don't be disrespectful, and then you go and say some disrespectful shit and then apologize and then say some more disrespectful shit. That's like a contradiction. So I don't like that. I don't like that for you. I ain't like that you just did that. That was trifling. Don't do that no more. I don't hate you, but don't do that.
Well, you was about to get read for the second time, but Rozay dropped you or you dropped yourself. Don't you ever come up here disrespecting me like that, you damn circle picture bitch. Don't you come up here trying to be rude, calling people out their names. You the one that got a problem, but you was the one going over there to tell our girl AP. And I ain't got shit against AP. I like her. But you
None
went
of us
over there
do.
trying to be messy and spread lies. And when she did it, we checked her about it last week or 2 weeks ago. She the only one on the app still carrying it because she probably the only one that motherfuckers got blocked. Don't nobody want to hear that shit you talking about royal ilk. And then you go back calling somebody a damn sewer rat. You better be glad we ain't on bingo. I'm going to eat your ass up.
Now, speaking of Bigo, I will say this. Since you did come in, you said there was multiple things. It wasn't so much as a summon as opposed to a conversation that I wanted to have with you, Trip. Because I came into the room and I heard partial of what you said. And I was like, I'd rather us just talk about it as opposed to me hear a piece and then not get the whole thing. Because I ain't got no problem with you. And so the part that I did hear you say was basically referencing the situation with me and Kev and saying that I'm a liar. And so for me, I understand people have their opinions. People can feel how they want to feel. That's cool. I've been sitting here talking about it. I'm very accountable for what is said, what is done, especially that comes out of my own mouth. What I don't like though is the fact that there's a lot of people that are playing semantics with words. I played the video back multiple times just to make sure I'm not tripping. If I feel like a nigga called me or said that I ain't shit, basically referencing other people, specifically even Tea Time, who's sitting right here, saying that I ain't her, I ain't got that as much pull as these people, and I ain't gonna never have that type shit, I'm gonna take it as a motherfucker saying that I ain't shit. So even if he didn't say out of his own mouth, you ain't shit, Rozay, the comparison of individuals and saying everything that he said led me to believe that this was his sentiments. And so I spoke from how it made me feel. Now, what I apologized for on Bella's panel was not making sure that I expressed this is how it made me feel. But I did not lie about the shit that he said out of his mouth. I did not lie about how he worded everything that he worded in regards to saying that I was supposedly being condescending, however I wasn't, insinuating that I'm trying to be like all of these people, how I'm supposedly going to make all these people content, how I'm clout chasing off all of these people who he claims to be these influencers. I'm not lying about the shit that he said. And if I'm not mistaken, you were sitting on the panel. And so, I understand you also made a statement saying that, you had just apologized to him. So, you didn't want to make it come off as, I can't just apologize to a nigga and then I'm back at him. So you said that you just decided to be neutral. You didn't say anything. However, that nigga was actively belittling me on that panel.
So, okay. Let me know because I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead. You done?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, yes, I did say Rozay was a liar in that situation. You came up on the panel in court today and you said, Kev told me I was worthless. I wasn't anything and I wasn't going to be anything. Were your words exactly. Now, when you played the video, because I had issues with a few parts, and I don't know if you missed this part. When you started off the video, you started off it and you played my conversation with Bullock. And I understand the pretense you wanted to show people that that's when he initially told you to stay out of people's business. But I feel like that was messy. I feel like, granted, today, as of Sunday, because I don't see Bullock throughout the week. We don't go on the same platforms. But today, as of Sunday, we see each other every Sunday in court. So for you to play that preface could have opened up or rehashed a whole nother situation. Hold on, I just want to be honest. Could have opened up or rehashed a whole nother situation. I didn't like that. And I even wrote in the comments, Rozay, if this is supposed to be about you, let's stay on you. And we don't have to play the trip part. But I understand you played it for context. Then when you played the full video, you had stated the man called you worthless, said that that you were not anything and you would never be anything. Verbatim. He never said any of that in the live. Now I understand, and I was the one on my platform that said if she stated it made her feel that way, that's one thing. But to say that he said that and then a video is played and nowhere in the video he says that is a lie. So you are correct. I did state that was a lie. And I also added, because you're not mentioning this part, I stated that I did not like the fact that so much of me and Bullock's argument was played when the conversation was supposed to be originated on you and Kev. We watched about 40 to 50 minutes of Kev's live in Bella's court just to get a pretense on what we was looking at. And those specific words were never said. I understand if it made you feel less than, it made you feel like, and I did hear the comparison between you and Tea Time where he said, you're not a tea time, you're not an Aunt Karen. Those are comparisons, but he did not specifically state you are not shit, you will never be shit, and you are worthless. And that's what you originally stated he came up and said. And at no point did he say those exact words.
Okay. So I had just got the video and I had not pre-watched it before I was able to only pull up the certain clips that was specifically on me. And I thought that I had preference that I had just got the video. So yes, that part of you and her was in context, but it wasn't intentionally to just be messy or to highlight the fact that you and Bullock had got into it. I was highlighting the fact that I was telling two mutuals of mine, like, this wasn't the time or place. And he was saying to me, like, ain't nobody asked you, da-da-da-da, from when the minor jabs started. That was what that's what I was shining light on. That. Not so much you and Bullock, more so the shit that he said to me, as to why I quoted him saying, ain't nobody ring your bell. And essentially to be quiet. And I think the thing with wordplay is a person don't have to say shut up for them to say shut up. And even with him saying ain't nobody ring your bell, that was a reference of mind your business, shut up. Same thing.
Well, I think he said that though, verbatim. He said, Rozay, he said sometimes when we're not called for, that's why we need to just stay on the sidelines, because he said Tripp wasn't talking to you, Bullock wasn't talking to you, they was talking to each other. So I don't think he said shut up verbatim, but he verbatim stated he did not say shut up. But he did imply to remain out of the situation, regardless if they're mutuals or not. Yes.
And so what I'm showing is that there was a lot of implication. So yes, I understand that he did not say verbatim out of his mouth, Rozay, you ain't shit, you don't mean nothing, whatever the case may be. It did not negate the fact that he implied that I was these things. So if this man is very adamant on your impact and your intent is important, right? Impact versus intent. They say it in the comments. This man repeats it often, right? He also told Slim multiple times throughout this entire week, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's the perception that people view you as. And he's saying these things to Slim and the stuff that Slim says out of his mouth. However, in a space where a person that he claims that he does not know, he never had no conversations with, he implied that Rozay is a clout chaser. She's a user. He implied that I use other people for content. He implied that I ain't shit. He implied that I will never be like any of these other content creators that he explicitly compared me to. He implied these things. So I understand. Okay. I understand that you can say, okay, well, Rozay, he didn't say those exact words. I get that. But implication is just as harsh, just as potent as the actual words. If I say to you, Tripp, you said, the sky is blue. And I'll be like, no, that's not true. Tripp, are you calling me a liar? No, I'm not calling you a liar. I'm just saying that's not true. Okay, are you implying that I'm lying about something? I could. That's just your perception. That's how you view that. Okay, well, what's the difference between a truth and a lie? What's the opposite?
So I get what you're saying, and there's a big difference. If you say somebody made me feel worthless and somebody said I'm worthless, those are two different things.
Attention, messy TikTokers. Please follow on Rumble for more messy TikTok news. YouTube will remove this page for community guideline violations after one more strike. The link is in the description.
Rozay said he is worthless. He called her worthless. And he said that she is not important and will never be important. Those would be lies. Like you said, it's very black and white. It's not no gray area. Did he or did he not say in the video, worthless, not important, and will never be important? And no, he did not say any of those things. So in that case, that would not be correct. Those would be falsified statements. Now, I don't know how it made you feel. Only you know how it made you feel. But I'm able to say that those things were not stated. So that, in fact, would be a lie. In regards to the Bullock thing, I'm not a backslider. So when I heard a nice part of her video, there were people in the comments, if Bella can pull it up, who were stating, okay, why are we listening to Tripp's recording? Can we move forward to the part that you're talking about with Kev? I had wrote at one point in time, okay, this is supposed to be about Rozay. Why is we listening to clips?
Yeah, I had never heard the video until this morning. So we were all going through it together. As to why I wasn't able to just skip to me and his part, because that was my first time hearing that video. Okay. And I understand what you're saying. A person's perception of what they feel happen, that's one thing. But an implication is still something that can still hold true. An implication is a conclusion that can be drawn based off of things that people are saying. If someone is explicitly making certain statements, a person can conclude that this person is what? A clout chaser, for example. If you're implying that this person does X, Y, and Z, then a person can then conclude that you are making statements about this person being X, Y, and Z. That is literally the definition in itself. It's involving something or someone and making it seem as if though they are whatever it may be. Even in a court system, you can imply a whole lot of conversation. You can imply a whole lot of statements. I understand that me saying that he said those things and that at that point was an exaggeration as to what I apologized for on Bella's panel before I dropped.
What did you apologize for, Rozay?
I can acknowledge that, but the implication itself, I'm not denying because a whole lot of people.
I don't know what. I understand what you're stating. I'm not trying to take away from anything that you felt or what you feel was implied. I heard what he said. Like you said, I was up on the live when the actual live took place. We had to watch 40, 50 minutes of the live today in Bella's court. Now, you said you were using it as evidence, but then you're saying it's your first time watching.
It was my first time.
That's fine. None of that matters to me. When they asked me, what do you feel like that was a lie or that was not a lie? We all heard the same video. If you read the comments in here, the comments over there, that was not what the man has said. So I understand that you're saying that was implied or that's how it made you feel. All of that could be very much so true. But in terms of if it's black and white, was that said? No. And like you said, if you say it's blue outside and I say that's not true, well, two things can't be true at the same time. You can't be saying what I'm saying is not true, but not calling me a liar. So if it comes down to it, that statement was falsified. That statement was not true. That would have made it a lie. In regards to that, he never said those things directly. What was implied, I'm not touching on. What you felt, I'm not touching on. I can't do that. But I can say that what was said was not what you said it was going to be or what we were supposed to be looking for in the video. And that's what I had made clear. I'm not a backslider. I'll say whatever I got to say on my live, on your live. It ain't no beef. I ain't got a problem with you. But that was not exactly what the man said. And when we're on social media, we're not face to face. It ain't like you can go tap somebody on the shoulder. Did you say such a, oh, such and such and such? It take time to clear shit up. And when it came down to that situation, you also had said in there, drop hearts, y'all, you know, if you fuck with me. And that's understandable. I said, I didn't want to put anything. I wrote in the comments, I fuck with both of y'all. I said, I just had problems with Kev. We just apologized to each other a few days ago. I just started speaking to Rozay maybe a month ago. She's been on this app and so have I, but I have not been anywhere in her presence. So for me, I'm not choosing sides. I'm not creating enemies based off of other people. So who do you support? I support both of you motherfuckers. Hey, how y'all doing? I put a heart in there and said both of y'all because I'm not going to be drugged one way or the other. Niggas don't move for me. They move for themselves. So I can't move for nobody else. When somebody else got a problem, that's cool. I understand that. I respect that. And once again, I could have put a white heart, but had I put a white heart in the comments for you, Kev would have said, oh, so is the bitch going against me? And then what I'm going to drop over there for him? I'm with the niggas? No, I put in there both of y'all. I fuck with both of y'all. I hope we can move past this, move forward in peace. And that's exactly what I meant. But just because I'm cool with two people, you can be cool with two people and know what's right and what's wrong. If I got two friends and them motherfuckers take off on each other and get to fighting, who wrong? Whichever one of them motherfuckers hit the other one first, period. And you can still be cool with me afterwards, but I'm not going to lie for you because you cool with me.
That's cool. I wasn't expecting you to lie for me or none of that. I wasn't expecting you to drop no white hearts. The reason for why I told people to put the white hearts because that man implied that I ain't got no emotion.
And you got the right to do that. Them is your people.
So when I heard that you made those statements saying that I was trying to sway the comments, it wasn't about swaying no comments. It wasn't about that. What it was about was letting this nigga see, like, baby, what you thinking ain't what that is. I don't know. And that's why I said, even on his panel, I don't know what the hell conversations you had with people on the back end or what conversations prior to your interaction with me today for the first time on your broadcast. And Kev, I seen you fly in here. And if you would like to come up, you can. You are not my content, by the way. So
can y'all hear me? Finally,
we can now.
Okay.
Now,
right,
so I don't know what conversations could have been had prior to, but it didn't make no sense why a nigga was saying whatever the hell he was saying out of the thin fucking air.
And that may be a conversation that y'all need to have. In trying to bring peace to TikTok, that may be a conversation you and Kev need to have.
So
maybe
you can't. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I cut you off.
Go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I did. I can't understand how a man who is saying that he's trying to bring certain people together was acting the way that he was on his panel towards me. Y'all can claim that y'all didn't see it in that fashion. That's cool. Y'all can say, well, we didn't see it how Rozay saw it. That's okay too. However, I know what I saw that day, and I know what I felt that day, and I know what people were saying in the comments that day as to why a lot of those individuals were being muted, blocked, and removed out of the broadcast that day. And so if I know that you are saying, China, I hear you. If I know that you're saying that you want to bring people together and you're a voice of reason and you're whatever the case may be, why is it that that man did not have grace, composure, or understanding for me on that panel? There was no type of grace for me. There was no composure for me. There was no respect for me. He claiming that there was not.
Okay.
You
So
saying that, oh, I'm just going easy on you, and then you get mad when I say, okay, and I'm trying to be respectful to you. It's crazy. We don't know each other. He don't know me. I don't know him. My natural response was nothing compared to what he got on his panel that day because I was being respectful. And he claimed that I was being condescending.
Okay, so I feel like the rest of this is a conversation that needs to be had with him. I can't speak for nobody. I saw what I saw on the panel. You're saying that you felt a different type of way. Your feelings is not something that I can negate. I'm not going to be able to tell you yes or no, you did or did not feel this way. If you state, hey, I felt this way, I mean, shit, can't nobody on here say anything but okay. We understand. Like, you know what I'm saying? We didn't all felt mad, sad, etc. So I can't tell you how you're supposed to feel or how you do feel. I'm only speaking on what actually took place, what actually happened. Now I get what you're saying. You saying, hey, I came up there when it came to me and Bullock, you asked, could something be diffused? And he was pointing out, I think both of y'all had positive intentions. I think you were looking at it different ways. You was like, okay, well, I'm a mutual to both of these ladies. Let me just tell them to calm down and we can handle this on the back end, or maybe later we're trying to do something else. And he was saying, hey, when people intervene in people's situations, this is how shit go from bad to worse real quick. Cause all it take, if you intervene, what's going to stop somebody else from intervening and saying something? I got what both of y'all was saying. I understand it. But at the same time, I'm not in this motherfucker to be making peace for other individuals or squashing beats for other people. I don't know what you and his relationship is. Today I heard him come up there and I was on Miss Nitra's panel when he apologized to a different Rozay. He was like, hey, Rozay, look, I know you were offended the other day on my panel. I'm sorry. I apologize. And people were like, Kev, wrong Rozay. And he was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. I don't know. I didn't know. Okay, sorry about that. Well, you just got a free apology. So I think he was legit in trying to apologize. And then today when he was like, okay, I apologize, it looked like it kind of ignited even further. So I don't know if there's anything behind it or what the whole deal is. I don't want to speak for Nan nigga. I don't want to be involved in shit that ain't got nothing to do with me. My comments, I can clear up. I can testify to what I said. I did say I thought those were those were lies because those were not factuals to what was stated. So your feelings are one thing. The facts are another thing. Yes, I did say that, not backsliding on that. In regards to the Bullock situation, I said, hold on. Why so much of, and it didn't start at what Bullock had came up there and said. The video started at what I had said. So it sounded like I was fucking with that woman when in all notion, the woman she got rolled by the comments in the panel because she came up there to address what I had said to her in the middle of people trying to create peace. And everybody was able to see it. So they went in and was like, hold on now, you speaking on something, why are you asking this woman for an apology or whatever the case? You talking about you done been called out your name. She came up right after I had apologized to Kev. And I said, I'm not handing out apologies. So I don't know what you came for because you started with me. So you're not getting an apology. And she said, I'm not looking for one. So to be quite honest, I don't even know what her point of coming up on the panel was. I will have to agree with the rest of the panel on that. It wasn't about a mutual thing or not handling at another part. We need to start calling out behavior like that. You coming into a live of 1,000 plus 200,000 plus 2,000 plus people and you're wanting to center yourself. We trying to cause peace. And because I just squashed beef with him, you want to ask if you can get an apology? No. Because see, when I fell out with this man, it was because of something he said to another woman that I was taking up. My fallout with you was because of you disrespecting me. So it's flat out, we ain't coming back from that. So in regards to that, that's what took place. So I respect the panel for calling her out and saying, wrong place, wrong time. And if you wasn't looking for a resolution, why'd you come up here? And if you claim, oh, I don't need no apology. So what were you coming up here for? You came up right after I apologized to him.
I'm not gonna lie as to why I said that I don't think that it needed to be a conversation at that moment, because I heard what she was saying, but it got lost because she acknowledged the situation that you and her had. She used it as an example to reference, like, hey, I don't have a problem with her. However, me and her have had differences, whatever the case may be. And if we're trying to do X, Y, and Z, I would have no problem with putting that to the side so that we can come together. That was her sentiments. However, that shit got completely lost in translation because individuals spoke to the fact that she was addressing you, Trip. A man spoke to the fact that she was addressing you as opposed to acknowledging that why she was saying what she was saying. As to why I made statements saying, you know what, I'm friends with both of y'all. Look, we can talk about this at a different time. That's why I said it is male centered, because right now, men should not be interfering in the conversation that y'all are having. That's what caused me to make that statement.
Okay, because now Rozay, let me ask you.
I'm not gonna hold you. I ain't got no reason. She was literally saying we didn't have our own differences. However, for a common good of us coming together as a collective, I can put that aside and we can move forward.
But let me explain though. When she came up and you got the video, so if need be, you can replay it. But I'm not really. Let me put it this way. Some people are interested in just talking about it to talk about it. As you can hear, my voice is going hoarse. I don't need to talk about it just to talk about it. I've told the story plenty of times over. What took place? The woman came up that day on his panel while we were talking about peace, squashing beefs, getting people together and unifying. And the first thing she stated was, "Yeah, I was on a panel with somebody the other day, and I was called out of my name. And all I said was that I have morals and values." So number one, you trying to play victim. And number two, I don't have time. And last time, other people saw it. You stating, "Hey, I'm a mutual," so you got feelings on both sides, were invested. Other people with no investment said wrong time, wrong place, and nobody else needs to intervene. And so once again, I do agree in that standpoint of other people coming to bat stating, "Ma'am, wrong time, wrong place." Now you mad that this woman about to spar off on your ass again, but you're the one that came up here trying to get something started. You came up right after this man was apologized to, but then you're telling people you don't want an apology. But the first thing you mentioned is the negative experience you've had with somebody and how you were called out of your name. You never initiate to tell anybody what you did to get called out your name. You were definitely called out your name. Probably will be again, but it was because you initiated. You don't start with people and then say, "Oh, I don't know why they bother me. I wish we could leave us alone." Leave people alone and you will be left alone. And in regards to that man, to Kev, I think maybe y'all need to have a conversation, because some of the things that you're stating, nobody else can trump over. When he came in today though on Bella's Live and was like, "Hey, look, okay, fine then, Rozay, you got it. My bad, whatever. I'm sorry. I apologize." He was like, "I love you, whatever." You was like, "No, you don't love me." And I'm like, damn, if we want peace, then what is the argument about it? Agree to disagree and walk away. And when it come to old girl down there in the comments, I'm not looking to be friends with her. She blocked and we ain't never got to speak again. But what I said was, don't play a replay then of me and her arguing in the comments and the video start off on me talking crazy to her, responding back to her. And we wouldn't have even had a conversation had she not come up. I was on the panel first. I was involved in the conversation. She came up and centered it on one individual, myself. And you, what are you looking for out of it? So that's what I'm saying. You say you didn't want an apology. You're not getting unblocked. So I'm confused on what your purpose was of bringing it up. We don't run in the same circles. I don't see you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. I only see you in court on Sunday. So what are we getting at? That was my whole point. So I understand your feelings. Your feelings is valid. That sounds like a conversation that you and Kev need to have with one another. If he hurt you that bad and you're feeling that, or you don't like the way you were talked to, you think that it was male centered. I get all of that. I'm not going to feel the same way you were feeling because I had a completely different experience over there. But I'm not negating what you're stating. I feel as though your feelings are valid. Whatever you feeling. If y'all can't come to a common agreement, then maybe y'all stay away from each other. I'm not here to squash another nigga's butt.
My question is this, right? Because at this point, you were put as a person who was supposed to be a part of whatever this organization was, right, for the common good, right? And in what I've been seeing, a lot of the conversations have been more centered on the individuals who are explicitly in this group or coalition. A lot of the energy is not giving. This is for everybody. And so when the everybody are asking questions, it is very disheartening when they're being dismissed. So even in a situation where, yes, the statements of y'all getting into it didn't have to be brought up at that moment. That was still part of community. That was still a part of people who want to be a part of something. And so dismissing the individuals who want to be a part of something and then claiming because it doesn't fit solely with what you want it to fit into is a problem. And I can only speak for me.
But are you realizing how that's a conversation for Kev? Because I didn't put this.
But what I'm saying is it's the conversation for the individuals who are a part of whatever this coalition
So
is.
ask me exactly then what you want to ask me, because I can't speak for the group and I can't speak for any other individual.
I got a question. Rozay, are you saying this because you wanted to be considered to be in the group? Is that the issue?
I didn't want to be on the leadership, whatever panel, whatever coalition top people. I wasn't going for that. I wanted to be a part of the community, a part of the individuals who are helping to make a change. It wasn't for me to say, well, here's your kudos, Rozay. Shout out to you for being a big broadcaster or a content creator or a big influencer. I didn't want that. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to be a part of the community in its entirety, like other individuals. Because the reason for me asking was because I wanted to make sure that whatever it is that I stood for, and that is supporting other Black women who are on this panel of individuals who are supposed to be content creators.
Right.
I want to make sure that I'm not doing anything that gets in the way of what y'all are trying to do.
Let me say something in Rozay. Hold on 1 second, T. Let me say something in Rozay, because what if we're gonna take all gloves off? Unfortunately, and I don't have anything against you, that is what it sounds like. And I want you just to hear me out so that you understand why it looks that way to other individuals. Let's say somebody, Kev say he was on his live and at random he came up with these people. And he's named off some people that just only he has had an issue with. But he names off a group of people and say, I want to have these people come together for a meeting to squash beef. It starts off as a positive idea. And then you have individuals who are upset, like, hold on, well, what was the criteria? What did you choose them off of?
I wasn't upset, though.
I'm not saying that you are. I'm just saying you have people who say, well, what did you choose them off of, opposed to making, what made you choose them? This is how it came off. So once again, you wanted to talk about implication earlier. This is what was implied. What the fuck did you choose them off of? Was it their amount of followers? Was it the amount of people that actually listen to them? What did you choose them off of to make them so special to go inside of a group that you didn't choose me, or you didn't choose Jim Bob over there, or you didn't choose Sally over there? What exactly was said? What have they done? What have they proven? What have they shown on this app that causes them to be in the in crowd and the rest of us not to be? Is it the fact that we're being considered small creators? Do you not consider us influencers? All of them don't put out content. Are we going based off of lives? So that's what it gave. And I understand you're stating that you were not offended. That's not what you said. But when you come to somebody live, and this is not an official meeting, this man is not a consulman. This man said, I want to gather these people and have a conversation with them about how far we go on the app, because I've seen all of us in big shit. Yes. So when he says that, he says, I want to talk to these people, get them together. And you say, well, what makes you want to talk to those people? Like, what makes a content creator a content creator? And we can play crazy like we don't know what it means. Like, well, Rozay really just wants to know what a content creator means. But in the context of the situation, it gave off what the fuck make these chosen 14, 15, them people that you want to sit down with and hear from, but you don't want to sit down and hear from me or hear from whoever else. And you're saying that, granted, it was not that way. I understand that, but I'm telling you, from a person that was on or is on, it sounds like, well, hold on, it sounds like you're asking questions specifically to poke at, to jug, to make him say, well, okay, then Rozay, you can come, or to make him say, okay, we're gonna open the doors for other people, or I'm sorry that I did this list. And to be quite honest, I wouldn't have been offended had I not been invited. To me, I look at it like a birthday party. You can't tell a motherfucker who to invite to their birthday party. TikTok did not hand select these people. Kev hand selected these people. So you can't be mad at a motherfucker for saying, I didn't invite you to my party. Well, what made you invite them other people to your party? Was it because they sat near you? Was it because they have this or that? It's like you drilling him about his personal decision. And then he said, go create a platform of your own. Slim said, go create something of your own. Everybody said, well, hey, Rozay, I even saw friends with attitudes today on there like, hey, well, you know what? You can create something of your own like we did. And Cam said, go create something of your own if you don't feel included in this. So I felt like when it continued to be said and it continued to be pushed, if we taking gloves off, it felt like you were like, oh, well, nigga, why you choosing them, but you ain't choose me? What make them special? It felt like you probably had a pen and paper jotting down notes. Well, this person only puts out content on Wednesday. This person only has so-and-so amount of followers. So that's how it seemed. And if we just keeping it a buck, because y'all got me on here, I'm talking now, that's the vibe that it gave.
So I didn't know that gloves were on for gloves to come off. However,
okay.
What I will say is that at this point, I'm trying to figure out what the hell is a community. Like I'm trying to understand what's a community now. Because if I'm thinking that I'm going into rooms and I'm supporting other broadcasters, if I'm coming into rooms and I'm sitting and I'm enjoying whatever your content is, and then a person then comes and says that he's going to come up with this coalition, and then when I ask him questions, this man says out of his own mouth, I ain't really think none of this shit through. Shit, I just came up with this shit last night. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing.
But Rozay,
can I say something to that?
Hold on. Let me say this.
Nobody would have known his sentiments that he didn't know what the fuck he was doing had I not asked that question. So it's not that I'm sitting here just trying to pick apart this man's stuff. I don't know him. I'm just asking questions because I just went into somebody else's live who didn't really understand what their role was. So I just so happened to fly into his room and he was the one who was doing it.
Well, no one can answer.
All this shit just fell into place. I went to two other people's room and they didn't really know what exactly they were supposed to be doing with this coalition. They didn't really know. So I'm like, okay, so let me ask the man who done came up with it. And the man who came up with it said, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And he laughed about it. And I'm like, damn, this seems like something that could really be serious, something that could really be pushed forward. I'm supporting whatever this movement is. Then when I'm asking more questions, he don't really know what the movement is. He don't know how to go about the movement. He's figuring it out as he's going along in this live. Y'all actively giving him, ideas in the live. I'm taking it back because I'm like, I'm sitting here trying to figure out how can we determine these people? Is it like a website where we can go and vote for these people? Like how exactly do we deem? Because I would love to vote for somebody to be on the council membership or whatever the fuck is going on. But there was no order in it. And I understand that y'all just came up with it, whatever the case may be. However, when you're talking about doing something for the community is going to have an opinion. I may not have been on TikTok for 3, 4, 5 years to say that I am this big time content creator that y'all deem yourself to be on TikTok. However, I do have a say because I'm part of the community. I'm not asking to be the one who makes all the say and all the pull, or people ask me for my advice. However, people have questions. And the same way that my people had questions for me, I had questions for Kev. They was asking me in my Discord, Rozay, what the hell is this coalition thing? What the hell is they talking about? I'm like, shit, I'm finna find out.
Can I please say something? Y'all, I've been sitting here for mad minutes. Now listen, Rozay.
Can I go next, Rozay?
Listen. You wasn't on the radar because you wasn't doing the stuff that the creators that he called together was doing. So why would he if he had put you in there, you could have very easily been offended and been like, I don't do none of this stuff these people doing. They problematic. I'm not. He was calling us together, and he's here now. He was calling us together so that we can clean up our own backyards first and maybe produce a blueprint for other people to do the same thing, just to clean up some of the misunderstandings and mess and bone carrying and going back and forth with just clean it up. And we
found that out after the fact.
Rozay, please let me finish. And we were at the beginning stages. If that man didn't sit down and write a mission statement, because you can't bring people in talking about we gonna equally share this ideal and you already got everything already planned out. No, you bringing me in as an employee or a volunteer at that point. So we are building it up from the ground up, and that stuff take time. We're all busy adults with lives. We can't sit around all day just creating up stuff to put into whatever you would want to call the commission. So that's why it's taking time. And no, he didn't come pre-prepared. Him, T, and Trip all had a similar ideal of community. And therefore, the implementation of it was he pulled in some people that, from what I took, I'm at the table because I'm problematic. That's what I took from it. But it may not be what he would have called me. You know what I'm saying? But in front of 2,000 people, if he'd called me problematic, I'd have ate that. But if he wouldn't have invited me to do it, or if the other people hadn't been okay with me coming to do it, I still would have been kind of okay. Now, I reached out to you and I said, I like your ideal of doing that woman-centric approach to similar to what we're doing here. And I said, I will help you do that, promote that, get it off the ground, the whole nine, and you do your thing. I don't understand if I reached out and I said that I would help you do that, how you would feel that I would sit at a table and say, oh, we're going to have everybody but Rozay. It's given that you mad, but like nobody
said that. No. Okay. So what's about to blow me is the fact that I still, in any of this conversation, have said, I have not said that I want to be at the table with none of y'all.
Then give me the people you fighting for. Give me the people you fighting for. I need to talk to them.
I never said that. Y'all keep saying that. Y'all keep assuming that I'm upset because I wasn't invited into something that had no organization, to something that had no order. I would not want to be associated with something that just did what it did a couple days ago. That's crazy.
See, that's the thing, Rozay. That's the
I'm not out here trying to advocate for me to be seen. It's not the case at all. I asked two simple questions.
What you just did right now that's messed up, right? You're at the same time you throwing shade on it. I don't want to be a part of something that's unorganized. I don't want to be a part of something that's thrown together. That's what's like not hurtful, but it's just like, damn,
it's
man,
demeaning.
Like, why do we have to do it that way? Like it all happened on live. He literally, let me just give it to you like this. He literally was on live the day before. I literally said a similar thing to my people. I'm like, I just got to figure it out. Actually, one of my supporters sent something to me and said, T, you should do something with large creators or put some creators together and try to see if y'all can do a panel or something. I'm like, you know what? Let me see how that goes. Then I was on live and I was just like, you know what? Maybe there should be a live where, some of the larger creators have been here a while, can come and talk about their experiences on this app, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and how we've grown from it. The very next day, Kev had came up with an idea. When he came up with the idea, people started coming in my live. Hey, T, Kev want to get some of the creators together. We all just so happened to end up in his live together at the same time. And we were talking about it. Reason why people think it's unorganized and all of this stuff is because it happened just like that. We all just sitting there like, you know what? That's a good idea. Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, we down. And we had to go talk about it and figure out how are we going to put this together. It's not that it's unorganized. It's just that it's something that was a great idea. Now let's see, how do we tackle it? And that's it. That's all. And that's okay. You have to start somewhere. It starts with an idea. Everything starts with a thought. Everything. A book, a business venture. It all starts with a thought. And from there, you then begin to organize it. So to say like, yeah, he didn't. He said it on live. I want to do something with the creators because we've been in a lot of shit.
From the ground up.
He said it on live. We're not offended by that.
Can I say something?
Hold up. I've been up here and I done already smoked like 2 blunts already.
Oh, sorry, Sonny Donnie. Go ahead.
I'm about to forget what I gotta even fucking say. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I saw the live and like what you guys are missing, what Zay's trying to say is going over y'all's head. Like the problem was Kev, right? We're just gonna address the problem. The problem was Kev. Kev cut everybody off in that motherfucking live. He didn't hear nobody out. He cut everybody out. Slim, all you motherfuckers that was talking. He cut y'all off. And that was the problem.
Okay, then why we all catching strays talking about
hold on, Kappa.
Organized. Why we catching strays?
Let me know when I can speak, please.
Let me explain something of what Rozay is trying to say, because I can see it from both sides, right? I think that the people who are a part of it are kind of on the defense, to be quite honest right now, because of some of the backlash and some of the lives that have occurred and some of the opinions people have. I think what you guys have come up with is absolutely amazing. I think that once you guys iron it out, there could be some great things that come from it. What I hear Rozay saying is, if you're bringing it on the forefront to the community to say this is going to happen, if you're doing it in front of us, then we have the right to have an opinion and have questions. And she was going in to ask questions to get clarity on kind of the goal of it all. Like, where is this going? What is going to happen from this? So that I can know if I'm going to build my own community. Like, I've been working in the business community. So I've been building a business community of like-minded entrepreneurs. I've been doing that over here. How can I continue to build my community over here and help you guys to pull off your mission? I think that's what she's saying is you did it in front of the community. Now the community has questions and now there's problems. Now, Rozay, I will be honest and say that you did throw shade just now. And I know you can recognize that too. You can recognize that too. And I can see why they are addressing that because, you know what I'm saying?
Attention, messy TikTokers. Please follow on Rumble for more messy TikTok news. YouTube will remove this page for community guideline violations after one more strike. The link